Hello everybody and welcome back to Drunk Gamers and Diablo 3. Today I'm going to talk a little bit about my improved Witch Doctor Summoner. I posted a previous video where he was a little bit undergeared and now I'll show you some ways on which to improve on that other build. So first off, with my skills, you can see I have some powers here. The ones I picked were the Gidbin, gives you a chance to summon a fetish when you're attacking. The Nagel Ring, because every 10 seconds it summons a fallen lunatic, which basically you'll see here in a minute. As far as I know, you can have 4 out at a time, and they basically run in and pop, dealing 10,000% weapon damage to the target. For those of you who are bad at math, 10,000% is about 100 times what your weapon does, which is a significant amount. And finally I have the Oryx Crown, which increases the gem in your helm by 100%, which is handy for me because I have the best amethyst in the game up there in my helm. And so basically, as you can see, I have the Zunimasa's set, which hasn't changed from my last video. The only thing that has changed about it is I've modified it a little bit with the Enchantress, yeah, so I had her add 6% critical hit chance to it. Basically what this does is it makes your fetish army remain in play until they die, and the cooldown is reduced by 80%. But also, more importantly probably, is you and your pets take 3% less damage for every fetish you have alive. So the more fetishes you have out, the less damage you take, basically. And since this character usually has between he usually has between like 7 and 21 fetishes, so, you know, like between 21 and 63% reduced damage through that. I'm working on leveling up the, this is Squirt's Necklace, but I modified it to have 10% critical hit chance, increasing the damage on there. That I haven't really modified at all. I just have it on here for the damage, and that's pretty much it. Again, Zunimasa's modified slightly. The Short Man's Finger, I modified it to have a socket, and I put the Enforcer gem, which is a legendary gem that increases your pet damage, into that. The Enforcer splits not the Enforcer, but the Short Man's Finger splits your Gargantuan into 3 more powerful Gargantuans that are smaller than the original. But I'll show you that skill here in a second as well. And with the Short Man's Finger, I'm going to be ranking up the Enforcer gem to get it to at least rank 25, because at that rank you get 90% reduced damage to your pets. So at that point they'll be taking pretty much no damage. I've got the Helltooth on here because whenever my pets hit anything, basically they're affected by necrosis, which slows them down, and they take 1500% weapon damage every second, and they take 20% increased damage from all sources for 10 seconds. So the Helltooth set is a good set to have at least 2 pieces of for this build as well, because that boosts your damage significantly. There's my other piece of the Hell set. So I have this on here pretty much for the damage, the Court of Shurma, which has a chance on hit to generate a Chaos Field that blinds and slows enemies for 4 seconds. My weapon, the Azure Wrath, with a top tier emerald put in there. Basically, undead and demons within 25 yards take 456 weapon damage as holy every second, and are occasionally knocked back. The gloves basically gives you the ability to gain like a shield that absorbs damage when an elite pack hits you for the first time. And last of all, the Spalders, your items become indestructible, but I keep that on here mainly for the 10% fetish army damage increase. And as you can see, he does about 1,012,000 damage. And he has over 1 million hit points as a result of all his gear. So let me go ahead and summon my guys really quick. So see, just out of nowhere, these psychopaths will pop out, and they're the ones that run in and pop. But I'll go ahead and summon my real guys. So there's my zombie dogs, my gargantuans, and my fetish army. So right now, since I have 7 fetishes, my damage is reduced by about 21%. Keep in mind I'm in Torment 8 right now, and with this character I've been able to solo Torment 10 Greater Rifts really easily. Let me talk a little bit more about my skill set. I use Piranhas, which basically the Bogadile rune attached to it. I use the Spider Queen, Corpse Spiders. She's another summon pet that's pretty decent. Again, my fetish army with the Headhunters, my Gargantuan, with the Bruiser rune attached to it. I have Midnight Feast as one of my primaries, which your Zombie Ducks and Gargantuan is increased by 50% damage, and you can have an extra zombie dog summoned. Zombie Handler, you can have another zombie dog summoned in addition to the 4 others. So my life and that of my zombie dogs and gargantuan are increased by 20%, which is pretty nice. I'm not going to go over my powers again. My Jungle Fortitude reduce all damage taken by you and your pets by 15%, which is nice. That's on top of the ones that I get from my set bonus. And my Fetish Psychopaths are, when you hit enemies with your spells, you have a 15% chance to summon a dagger-wielding fetish for 60 seconds. And that comes in handy a lot with this character build. And I'll show you why here in a second. So I'm using the fire bombs with the Pyrogeist, and what that does is it allows me to have 3 little pillars of flame out at a time. And each of those pillars of fire will shoot at nearby enemies. And so that's really effective at summoning additional fetishes. And then finally my zombie dogs, I'm not going to go too much depth into that. They deal poison damage. So those are my skills. Now let's see how this guy fares in Torment 8, Act 4. Actually, I probably want to be going the other way. So I've got 3 of those guys who pop in reserve, 3 of those Psychophants, or whatever you want to call them. So this is a little bit unusual because I still haven't summoned... Oh, there's my first bonus fetish. And I do have a couple of them that don't show up in my summon pet tab. I don't think they count towards any of my bonuses though, except for the damage bonuses that I get anyway for everything. So now I have 3 additional fetishes, and those are just ones that I summon passively, not counting the ones that I'm getting from the Gidbin ability. So I can see at least 2 that I'm getting from the Gidbin ability. So now I have 5 fetishes that I've summoned passively, so that adds up to about 12. So 12 times 3, so that's 36% reduced damage, and that just increased. And I mean, you can see how fast I'm ripping through things. Generally, my pets don't allow anything to hurt me, but if I get a little bit too careless, I might take a hit here or there. In the higher difficulties, I pretty much just sit back and let my pets do everything. I was hoping to find a boss that I could kill really quick. Not just an elite pack, but I wanted to kind of show the potency of this character build against an actual boss. Drones of Hope first tier. This is where Rakanoff is. I mean, you can see I'm just running through here and my pets are annihilating everything. So that should be a pretty good indicator of how potent this character build is. Usually if things are a little bit too tough for my pets, I'll throw in the Spider Queen. Usually I should be doing that anyway, but there's the Spider Queen out, and they just mop everything up almost instantly. So here's an elite pack, and you'll be able to see how quickly I kill these guys. And I'm just like taking no damage because of that shield from my gloves, and they're all dead. And remember, this is Torment 8, so these guys are not weak. They're probably just a little bit too weak for this character. Okay, so I'm gonna go back to town. So again, there's my little army I've got going. Alright, well thank you guys for watching, and be sure to check out my other videos. I'll talk a little bit about my Demon Hunter, his her Vengeance build, my Monk. I've got one of every character except for the Barbarian. He's the one I'm kind of working on right now. But, so thank you for watching, and I will catch you next time.